What about these QBs? Jason will release them at the last minute. It's like, we don't get the full thing until we'll see who runs out, who the last Jason thing drops, at 7:30 on the 27th. But what have you learned this summer, maybe from talking to the guys and hear about this quarterback situation? I mean, look, we can talk all we want negative about Sam Howell and leadership and all that, but the bottom line is he's the greatest quarterback to play at Carolina, and now he's not there. And we've got three guys that we're here talking about, and Carolina's got to roll one of them out to start the season. But somebody's got to produce for Phil Longo. Where are you at this point?
Yeah, the level of concern from the players on North Carolina's team, it's non-existent. And I think if it was even the slightest bit of doubt, North Carolina could have taken a transfer quarterback. If North Carolina had some doubt about who the next quarterback was going to be, somebody like Josh Downs probably isn't at North Carolina. And that's not even from a NIL tampering perspective. That's Josh Downs looking out for what's going to put Josh Downs in the best position to be a first-round pick next year. So I think that was my biggest takeaway talking to some of these players on this North Carolina team, that they're not worried about who the next quarterback is, whether it's, Criswell or May. Mac Brown has kind of said it's a two quarterback race, just with how much Harrell kind of has to still grow as a freshman, and the training wheels still kind of being on him a bit. But I think from a North Carolina fan perspective, you have to realize that this time 3 years ago, North Carolina was going into that South Carolina game not knowing if it was going to be Cade Fortin, Jace Ruder, or Sam Howell. And the same kind of conversations were happening, like, what's going to happen? And it turns out that Sam Howell has, a great year, a great UNC career. And I think when you look at the track record from Phil Longo, he's been an offensive coordinator. I have this stat. He's been an offensive coordinator for 5 seasons at the Power 5 level. On average, they're the 28th team in the country when it comes to scoring offense. Ole Miss, his first year, they were 37th, then 41st. Then at North Carolina, it went 39th, 10th, and 16th. On average, 28th in the country. That puts you at about 32 points per game. If you're telling me right now that this North Carolina team could be 28th in the country when it comes to scoring offense and be a near top 25 offense with everything that all the question marks they have, I think most fans would sign up for 32 points per game and then hope that Coach Chiswick has it figured out. So I think between the UNC players' confidence in their quarterbacks, and then when you look at Phil Longo's track record as an OC, I know it's easy for fans to kind of nitpick every offensive decision that kind of comes out from North Carolina, but the stats do indicate that North Carolina has had a top 25 offense for, a good part of the time that Phil Longo's been here, and even better, like a top 15 type offense. And I know Sam Howell had a big part to do with that, but this is still an offense where I think you can plug and play, especially when you have somebody like Josh Downs anchoring the offense.
Indeed, so Staples.
I'm gonna jump in here too. The reason that they're not concerned about the quarterback position is, on my assessment. So I will tease this. I of all the things to look at on the offense, I'm not concerned about the quarterback position. I think I'll take that a step further. I don't think there's going to be a huge drop off at the quarterback position from when Sam Howell was there last year. So, and I know that's saying a lot, but does that mean that you're going to get exactly the same level? No. Sam was a third-year starter. But I think the quarterback position is going to be a strength for the Carolina offense. And, there are other concerns that are there on offense that may limit things a little bit more. But I think the quarterback position will be in good hands. They're going to be fine. I think Howell's freshman year, or is sort of the the kind of thing that could be expected from what we get from the quarterback position this year. The real concern that I have is, and I mean level of play, not necessarily numbers. I mean, numbers are dependent on what's around you. But my real concern there is are you going to get the level of play that you need from the receiver depth? You've got Downs. Antoine Green has sort of developed towards where he should. What about the rest? I mean, you got some real question marks there, and then Vip, you already pointed out that there's question marks at the line position. So when you're looking at those things, I think there are other concerns way ahead of the quarterback position, and I think the quarterback position is going to be actually a strength for Carolina this year.